And love is love, and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone, you know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory, I tell you how it tastes.
Hello
And welcome.
to the Quadruple Double Podcast, Episode 4.
Okay, so the last time we were here, we said that we'd be doing our next video about whether Hall of Famers should be All-Stars in their final seasons. But due to lack of stats, lack of
Information
too, we decided to scrap that idea. So we decided to do a redraft of the 2003 NBA draft.
Personally, my favorite draft of all time. I mean, they have the GOAT in there, so that's all I really need to know.
Okay, you can stop right there. Anyways, the 2003 draft was a great draft. A lot of good players. And let's get right into it.
Okay, so we're going to start at number 14. Because
We're only doing the lottery.
Yeah, only doing the lottery because that's like the core 14 players that would be generally drafted. We don't have to go into depth about so many players. But, okay, we'll start at 14. Number 14, I got
Seattle Supersonics draft.
TJ Ford.
Okay. Why?
Well,
Why TJ Ford?
I mean, TJ Ford's stats are actually underrated. The guy got like derailed in his years because of back spasms. I mean
He had that big back injury.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean like his stats aren't incredible, but like at his peak he was averaging like 14, shooting decent from the three. Okay, efficiency not great, like 48%, but like still he was a solid player. And I know he's not great, but like at the bottom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. For all you know, Liv accidentally used efficient field goal
so
percentage multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have Steve Blake.
Steve Blake. I don't even know who that is, so that's like...
Steve Blake was the backup point guard for Portland. I think he started a year for them.
Okay.
He also was backup point guard for New York.
Alright.
He's also, again, these two guys are very, very similar players.
That's true.
The only thing that differentiates them is that TJ Ford was a better scorer.
Yeah, definitely.
And Steve Blake...
Better passer? I've never really heard of Steve.
Sorry, one sec. Basketball Reference is tripping on me. Steve Blake is a career 38% three-point shooter.
Oh,
And he's still, his stats might not be as amazing, but he still was a good passer.
fair.
Pretty efficient. And he also,
How are his turnovers though?
TJ Ford played more minutes.
Yeah.
1.5 turnovers a game.
Okay, so that's solid. Anyway.
Yeah, so again, very similar players.
Yeah. Number 13, the Memphis Grizzlies. It's like Kurt Heinrich, who was originally picked 7th.
Exactly who I have.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had to say Kirk Heinrich is Steve Blake, that was just he's kind of a better version of both TJ Ford and Steve
Yes,
Blake.
I agree with that, definitely.
Good shooter,
Mm-hmm.
played for that Bulls team in the late 2000s, so it was pretty good actually.
Yeah, now he plays for the Hawks, and that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
But like,
And technically, it wasn't actually Memphis that would get this pick, it was actually Boston. So they originally got the pick from Houston, but they traded it to Boston.
Yeah, but just there was a lot of moving around in this draft. Just like Memphis originally had the 2nd pick, but actually it ended up going to the Pistons.
Yeah.
So like there was a lot of moving around like that.
Yeah, really quickly, we forgot to say this. The original 14th pick was Luke Ridauer, who is not making this.
Yeah.
13th pick, Marcus Banks, who, is not... I've never heard of Marcus Banks.
Yeah, exactly.
So that pretty
Let's
much
just put it that way.
illustrates
Yeah.
is where you should be.
So number 12, I have Jose Calderon, the record holder for free throw percentage in a year.
I have Chris Kaman.
Oh well, Jose Calderon actually went undrafted, which is actually pretty interesting, because I guarantee you have him somewhere on your list.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
I have him higher up, though. It's a mixture of team success, shooting, longevity.
I mean, I can go with that. He was never really all-star caliber, but he's been a solid player who's had solid longevity that's really carried out through the entirety of his career.
Yeah, so Chris Kaman on my part.
Chris Kaman,
Kind of an underrated player. What is definitely not underrated were his hairstyles.
Oh my God,
they were terrible.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
But he was actually, there were a couple years where he could, with a nightly double-double threat. His career rebounding average is 7.6 boards, which obviously isn't close to 10 to make it a double-double, but he didn't end up playing that many minutes a game.
Because of his, he wasn't that strong, defensively, and
he actually averaged 8.8 blocks a game.
I know,
one
but,
year,
besides blocks, he really wasn't, someone you could put on the court in crunch time.
Well, I guess not. Depends. He actually was a good player for the Clippers.
Yeah,
even though the Clippers weren't a good team then.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why I have him 12th. There's players that. With
Okay.
the 11th pick, originally Mikhail Pietrus was picked, but the Golden State Warriors are now going to pick
Boris Diaw.
exactly who I have
Yep.
too.
He was originally picked 21st, but I think that the reason he moves up so far in this draft is specifically because of how his longevity was. He was the 2005-2006 most improved player. He was a champ with the Spurs in 2013. He actually, although his like first 2 years started off rough with only averaging 4.5 points and 4.8, he literally progressed so much to the point where his like career high in 1 year was like 15.1.
But his game was never predicated on scoring.
Yeah, it was. He
But
was
one
an
thing,
offensive-minded player.
so Boris Diaw is, I can't remember how tall he was. I think he was 6'9", but he was a power forward. And
He's
a
an
power
undersized
forward,
power forward.
But
at that.
I know, but I want to give Boris Diaw credit for where it's due because his per 36 assist numbers is 4.6. There was a year. When he played for Phoenix. There was 1 year. Phoenix and Charlotte.
Was that in the 7 seconds or less offense?
Kind of. Yeah, it was 2009.
What do you mean kind of, like with Steve Nash?
Yeah. Oh, here. This year. There was 1 year where Boris Diaw, 2006 Suns, that was 7 seconds or less, averaged 13.3 points, 7 boards, and 6 assists
That's really solid.
on good efficiency.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
what-
also almost 1 steal and 1 block a game. So I think he was a very he was a very good passer for
underrated
for underrated passer,
Yeah.
underrated team player. He really knew how to make the right plays. Again, when he played for the Spurs, his numbers kind of dropped because he didn't play that much.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think 11 is a good fit
Yeah.
for him.
Okay, so number 10, getting into the top 10 here, I have Leandro Barbosa.
I have Josh Howard,
You have Josh Howard that low?
That
He's an
low?
all-star.
but
Leandro Barbosa, all he did was win a 6th man of the
okay,
year.
but Josh Howard is. When I look at players, you look at their careers because we're doing a 2003 draft and not a draft like 2016.
Yeah.
You have to look at their careers, not only their stats, but also the success of their teams.
You can't. Leandro Barbosa did literally nothing for the Warriors when they won. In
Yeah,
2014,
so-
2015. He has one ring, and it's from the Warriors.
Did
that year.
nothing.
He literally
But if you
did.
look, he played on the 7 seconds or less that played well.
In his last
Josh
couple-
Howard played. The only good team that Josh Howard ever played for was the Dallas Mavericks for maybe 3 years. He was never that efficient. He had one year where he averaged 20 a game, but it was on a good efficiency. He didn't really do much else because this is a small forward, but his career averaged 2 assists a game on 31 minutes. If you want, we can compare Barbosa and Howard's per 36 numbers. That's what you can do. But from what I think, and again, obviously it's going to be different. Josh Howard is a bigger player, he had more rebounds but less assists. But he was never that important to his teams. You look, if you want to go into the advanced stats, even in that 2005-2006 Dallas team that made it to the finals, his win shares per game were as high as his career, but then 2 years later it was terrible. He was never a good defender.
Yeah, I know. He was solid to the point offensively where a team could actually.
And Leandro Barbosa was also solid to the team defensively.
But was he? He really never was like a first scoring option, or even a second, or even a third. He was a bench player the whole time.
Whoa. Okay. I wanted to backtrack there. I have him later. When we get to him, then I'll show you stats. You don't need to look at it right now. But also, I look at longevity. And Josh Howard played 507 games in 11 seasons. I know that might be injury-riddled seasons, but still.
They are. That's the reason he's
Okay.
that high.
And the Washington Wizards have that pick. So
Yep.
they, in my case, pick Howard, and in his case, Barbosa.
Yeah. Now, I know there's going to be some controversy here, but at number 9, originally picked 51st, I have Kyle Korver.
Whoa, that's a little low.
I know.
Okay.
I know it seems low, but even though the guy was literally a 3-point champ, one of the best shooters of all time, the reason he's not low is because that was literally the only part of his game. I mean, you look at he has 1 All-Star selection, and if you look
Which
at that,
he didn't deserve.
yeah, exactly, which he didn't deserve. So that's why I have him so low, and the fact that he's his per 30 his PR is almost 13. It's not that good. It's not solid at all.
But again, PER matters on how many minutes he's played. His career minutes per game averages is 26.
Yeah, I know, which is actually. But then you think about some years, literally in 2018, 2019, he literally hasn't started a single game for the Cavs.
Because that's not his game.
No.
If you look at his career, he's been on the bench more games than he started.
He literally is his career high in points is 14.4. You can't really.
That's fine,
And
but
that's his game,
again,
scoring threes. Look at his.
His assist per game
3-point
isn't that bad for a guy that didn't play that much. He's a really good. Kyle Korver's a shooter.
Minutes is like
okay,
literally
I know
half the
Kyle
game.
Korver is a shooter though. Kyle Korver is a shooter, and I know that is essentially what he is. But you can't not look at the fact that this man is one of the top 5 shooters of all time.
Yeah. Okay, but like the reason.
Longevity too.
That's
I have
fair.
him. I know since we're already talking about him. I have him 6th.
But like when you think about it, the reason I have like number 9 to number 1 are all stars, and out of those all stars, I think Kyle Korver is the worst. I'm sorry. That I think.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's not, and that maybe the All-Star year wasn't deserved.
Mm-hmm. That's why I
But
barely
this
call him
man
All-Star.
is
That Hawks team did not deserve 4.
so good at what he does,
So
and he can change the game just like that. I remember that everybody
that
knows
one Hawks?
that one Hawks-Bucks game where he hit 4 threes in a row. I know
yeah.
it wasn't even the end of the game, but this he's clutch. He can shoot, and he's been in the league for 19 seasons.
And he's done very well for himself.
Yes, 19 seasons.
I mean, it's all up to interpretation.
And the guy you have 6th, I'm not sure who you have, but
Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we'll get to it.
Yeah. Number 8, the Milwaukee Bucks select Chris Kaman, who was
Okay.
originally picked 6th.
so we already talked about him.
Yeah.
I said Jose Calderon.
You said, Jose Calderon, okay. So
yeah.
Enough said, we've talked
Yeah.
about that enough.
7th, Leandro Barbosa.
And I had Josh Howard, so we kind of switched those
Yeah, we kinda
interchangeable.
switched those, but-
Josh Howard was picked 29th. When was Leandro?
28.
28. So, like, they were actually pretty close.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised Barbosa wasn't an All-Star even, because I know maybe his career stats aren't that well.
Yeah.
But there's some, but third option he never said he was. There was a 4-year span where he actually averaged 16
He had one
points a
year
game.
where he averaged 18.1, which was really solid. Besides that, he really didn't do much.
But actually, also look at this. I'm gonna really quickly go to Josh Howard's career shooting stats. I know Fish, that kind of isn't the best stat
Yeah.
to measure it to, but still.
Because
Josh Howard, 45% from the field, 33-77.
Okay.
Barbosa, 46%, 39%, and 82%. Free throw doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but this guy was actually a really good
Well, it
free
does
throw
matter,
shooter.
but it's
that
not-
one year where he averaged 18 points a game, he hit 2.5 threes a game at a 44% clip.
Yeah, I know, but that's not what Josh Howard's role on the team was.
I
Howard
know.
was supposed to shoot threes.
Also, Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah.
Was a good passer too. Shooting guard, average 4 assists.
Okay.
That's so good. But yeah, we get. That's essentially what it is.
And then number 6, originally picked 47th. I have Money Mo Williams.
Okay, so
Do you
you
have
had
Williams?
we switched Williams and Corver again. So
Oh
I
my
had
God.
Corver at 6 and Williams at 9th.
The thing about Mo Williams is that even on a team where the Cavs were so bad, he was an all-star and he actually deserved it. He had to be the second option on that team. He wasn't that. Of course, he wasn't good, but he had he had a really good stint with that Cavs team when it was him and LeBron.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean?
But you look at Corver and Monty Williams.
Mo
Sorry,
Williams.
Mo Williams. Why am I
Monty.
saying
Who's
Monty?
Monty?
Oh my god, that's a coach. That's a coach.
Yeah.
My bad. But I understand maybe there was like a 6-year stretch where he was averaging 16, 17 points a game, and he was still a good 3-point shooter, but.
He was.
And he was still a great passer, so maybe
his
like
numbers are way better
so
than
maybe
Corver's.
looking back at it, maybe
besides
looking
threes,
okay,
besides threes, the rest of his game was much
okay,
better.
looking back
He
on it,
passed the ball better.
okay,
He shot more. He didn't shoot more efficiently from 3, but in general, like in his better seasons, like when he averaged like.
okay, but listen, if you were the average fan, and you looked at
pick
these two
Kyle Korver.
players,
You pick
Kyle Korver.
But when you go into deep analytics, Mo Williams is better.
Yes, but also, I also actually kind of also looked at the teams that were drafted by.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Korver would be drafted by the Clippers, and and the Clippers weren't that well. Maybe Kyle Korver could have. I don't think he would ever be a 20-point per game scorer, but he could probably
Never.
average better
Mo
stats.
Williams
He
was a
was drafted
20-point per
originally
game scorer.
by the Knicks.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, actually no, he was originally drafted.
Wait. Oh, you mean?
I can't even
Mo
remember
was
what team he was drafted
yeah,
by.
Exactly. It was 50.
Let me check
points.
quickly. Yeah, he was drafted by the New Jersey Nets
Yeah.
traded to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but like moving on, we have number 5.
David West.
We all have David West.
picked by the Heat, which
Yep.
would have been a great pick.
Great pick for the if it happens.
Actually, it probably wouldn't have happened though because they had Shaq. No, they didn't have Shaq yet. They didn't have Shaq.
No, they made the trade for Shaq.
When they picked Dwayne
to
Wade.
team him up to win that 2006
Yeah.
championship against the Mavericks.
So this is probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
David West
It's actually
is a better player.
It's an interesting what if, because what if they had picked David West, Shaq would have never went there. He would have had to get traded to a different team, not the Heat.
So Shaq might not even play for Phoenix or
Yeah,
Boston
exactly.
anymore.
So that's a very
and the
interesting
Miami
what
Heat
if.
wouldn't have won a championship then because they still wouldn't have Dwayne.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and the Pistons getting Dwayne Wade.
That's an even better what if. I mean, number 4, we all have Chris Bosh.
I have Carmelo Anthony.
You have Carmelo Anthony
I have Carmelo Anthony.
at 4th.
If you
No.
Listen,
No.
Have you noticed the pattern that I've been going with? I don't. Again, you asked me
Carmelo.
earlier.
Chris Bosh, I'm sorry, even though he was a Raptor, overrated. His career cut so short. The guy, Carmelo.
Well, what do you want?
He has a career 101 win shares. 101 win shares.
And Chris Bosh.
And Chris Bosh, oh my god, dude, you can't possibly think Chris Bosh would just
In less games. But listen to this.
because he got injured and he had to stop.
Well,
playing.
the guy had a blood clot in his head. What do you want to do about that? Like,
No, I'm not blaming him, but I'm saying that Carmelo has 10 All-Star selections, 6 All-NBAs. He was a 2012-2013 scoring champ. In that year, he was 3rd in MVP voting. Chris Bosh has never been top 5 in MVP voting. Then you got years where he averaged 29 points a game, 29 points a game in 2 different years, 2012 and 2006. So he's had a really solid career, and although the last couple of years have been rocky and his efficiencies have gone down, and his attempts sadly have gone up, that doesn't mean.
But I'm not gonna lie, Carmelo Anthony has had one of the biggest downfalls of a superstar
He was
I've ever
up
seen.
here, and then it went
I've ever
seriously
seen.
plummeted.
Even if you look at his final year in New York, he was still playing well.
Yeah.
But listen, if you wanna Chris Bosh beats Carmelo in advanced stats and in most normal stats too.
And if you were gonna argue winning, I guess you could make that argument.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you notice the pattern that I've been using,
you
stats
value
are.
winning.
I value winning. I value team success, and I know you could say that.
But you have to value context. Carmelo was never put in a position where he could actually win.
You know what?
Chris Bosh
There was 1 year that
Chris Bosh was gift wrapped, literally a big 3. Of course, they're gonna win championships. You have to think about context. When you use these advanced statistics, just like in the GOAT argument between Jordan and LeBron, you have to use context.
Well, no, context like that doesn't factor into advanced stats. It factors
It
into
should,
winning.
though.
It factors into winning, into
Exactly.
championships and all that. But even if you want to go All-Stars, Chris Bosh was an 11-time All-Star. And again, I had Carmelo at 3rd. And as I mentioned, last episode with Paul George Kevin Durant, the line is very thin.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
but honestly, I do think, at least for the Denver Nuggets and have the 3rd pick,
Yeah.
Chris Bosh would have been a better pick for them.
So
because
now-
then when they would later get Iverson, that'd just be a better tandem.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so now we got to the final 2. It's obvious we all have LeBron at first.
No.
I'm not even going to
Okay, yeah,
And then Wade at 2nd. Wade originally picked 5th. Maybe I think he's a top 3 shooting guard of all time behind Jordan Kobe, obviously.
Okay.
I mean, I think.
I don't think he's a top 3 of all time, but I think he's a top 5 of all time.
Okay.
I can't think right now of what I'd say, but he's definitely a top 5 shooting guard of all time.
And he's amazing. So, yeah. I mean, that pretty much wraps it up. So,
No need to talk about LeBron because he's trash. So, but yeah, anyways, we're probably going to miss another episode next week. We don't know about the topic yet, but we'll post
figure it out.
Stories. And
Yeah, we'll let it know. Follow our Instagram at the Quadruple Double Podcast.
Thanks for watching.
I can figure it out now. The life is short. And I don't care for most of it. I don't care for most of it. Your eyes, they did flutter again. And my mouth, it did.
Yeah, I learned the game from William Wesley. You can never check me. Back to back